Hi and welcome to the Project Data Analytics Part 4. In this part, we will see the concept of project performance dashboards and reports. Previously, we have developed in the third session, we have developed the data modeling, data structuring. Now we want to see what is the purpose of that data modeling and structuring, where we can use that, what information we can take from that. Because we need to use the data modeling which we have developed to develop some KPIs, to develop some reporting system. So in order to do that, we need to establish an understanding that what we want to achieve from our data structure and data model. So in this session, we are going to establish an understanding of project reports and project dashboards, what is performance and how we can use that to control the project. So let's start with concept of project performance reports and dashboard. Why we need reports and dashboard in project? Every industry have their own reports and dashboard. Finance, accounts, sales distribution, supply chain, medical, sports industry, every industry have their own reporting system and dashboard. Based on that, they make their decision making. Based on that, they analyze whether the business is going good or not. So definitely we need to have a reporting and dashboard system in project. So this is we are going to find out why we need that, what type of reports and dashboard we need. To check the status of the project, this is one of the need that we need to see the status of project, that what is happening in the project, what we have done so far, what is remaining in the project. To know if we are going good or not, whatever we have done so far, whether we did good or not, we want to know that, because this is a steering dashboard for you. You want to take decision for that. So this status is very important. Whatever you have done, is it good or bad? To find the root cause of the issues, we should have such reports in our system that find the root cause of the issue, because there are tons of things going on in project. Every day data is generated, so we want to know that what is the problem, where it is coming from, what causes the problem, and then we will definitely find to resolve this problem. To make things simpler and easier, this is one of the most significant, we can say, attribute of reports and dashboard, that to make things simpler and easier. Which type of dashboard and reports we need in project? There are several possibilities. There can be so many things in the dashboard, so much information available. So which type of dashboard and reports we need in project? And these are the standard reports. You will find everywhere such type of reporting system. Dashboard which reflects performance, definitely. A system which is giving me the KPI, key performance indicator, which is telling me that what is good, what is not good, is it really going to happen in the same way or not. So we want to have a KPI, a dashboard which is reflecting the KPI, which is the performance. Reports which identify the root cause. If we are having a dashboard which is having a KPIs, we definitely need to have a report which is going to give me the root cause, that what is the cause of anything which is good or anything which is bad in the project. So we need such type of data. Simply, we need a system which indicates the scope, time and cost all together. We need to have a system, a robust system, which is going to give me the scope of the project, because this scope is going to be validated by the client. Client needs to see if the scope is done or not. We need to see the cost, how much cost is spent by you in order to finish the scope, and the time, that in what time you are going to finish the project, or in what time you have finished the project so far. So these are the three main things we need in our system to create a dashboard and reports. So how we will make such system, where to start from? So we definitely need to know. So far we know what data structuring we have done, what data modeling we have done. So we need to see where to start from, what we need to do. Let's start with performance measurement system. So we need to understand the concept of performance measurement system, that what is performance measurement system? What is PMS in projects? PMS is a process which provides many key performance indicators. So it's a system that is providing me that these are the things, if going good, you are good. These are the things, if not going good, you are not good. So we need to find that. KPI helps us quickly understand what is going on in project. When combines data analytics with PMS, performance measurement system, it becomes more powerful and help us to find the root cause effectively and quickly. Many predictive KPIs help us forecast the events. There are three types of KPIs. We will go into that. One of them is a predictive. So what are key performance indicators? So this is a very, very interesting topic, because many people have misconception about key performance indicator. People tend to combine them, tend to relate them with the quantity. The quantity is your KPI. No, it's not actually the case. How to develop KPI? First we will see with earned value management and critical path method, because we are working in a project and we know that these are the two most commonly used techniques in the project to control the project. So we need to develop the KPIs from them, earned value management and critical path method. And our data source, which is Primavera, also applies both the techniques in its engine. How many KPIs are there? There are multiple KPIs in EVM and CPM. So we need to find out that what KPIs we need, so that we can go to that destination and we can develop those KPIs in our data model. What are the most used KPIs in industry and what are the most used KPIs in, you can say, in construction or any project? We need to look into that as well. We need to see the parameters that are involved in earned value management. Budget at completion, this is the budget which is telling you that your project worth 100 million, your project quantity, let's say, of any particular task, your quantity is 100 meter cube, the specific effort required to complete the task, let's say your manpower is 1000 man hours. So this is the budget. It can be at project level, portfolio level, program level, it can be at WBS level, at simple task level. So budget is something relates to the scope of work. Plan value, which is called plan value %, also this is one of the parameter of the earned value management, and it also refers to as schedule variance or schedule % actually in Primavera. So what is the next? Earned value. Earned value is simply also called the performance % in Primavera, and earned value is the amount of scope you have finished so far. Means this is the value which you have done. For example, if somebody asked you or somebody informed you that your earned value is, let's say, performance % is actually 55%. So this is just an information that you have finished the 55% scope of work. And if somebody tells you your schedule % is, let's say, 80%, so this is just an information, or let's say this is an indication that you have planned 80% of the work so far and 20% is yet to be planned as per the baseline. Actual cost, this is the expenditure done by you in order to earn the scope, in order to finish the scope. So this is the expenditure going from your pocket, which is also referred to as actual cost. Actual cost %. Schedule performance index, this is one of the parameters that tells that this is the ratio of earned value divided by plan value, and it tells in the form of ratio that whether you are ahead or behind of the project in form of schedule. Cost performance index, this is also a ratio which tells you that how much you have spent, how much you have earned in the form of ratio. Its formula is earned value divided by actual cost. Schedule variance is also a parameter which tells me that how much in the form of percentage I am behind or ahead. Cost variance is also the parameter which tells me in the form of percentage or the value that how much I have spent more or less than the earned. Estimate to complete, there are 2-3 formulas to calculate this. Estimate to complete tells me that how much budget is remaining in my hand, which can be the percentage, let's say 35% budget is remaining, or it can also relate to the how much scope remaining in my budget. So there are 2-3 formulas to calculate to that. So we can see that in DAX development, when we are doing DAX during the KPI development rather. So we will see which formula to use. So this is actually mostly it is used as a amount or the budget remaining in your hand. Estimate at completion tells you that what is the possibility of your expenditure at the end of the project, whether it is going to be exceeding the budget or under the budget. So this is a future value which is telling you that what might be at the end of the project. Variance at completion is telling you what will be the variance from the budget you assigned in the start. So budget at completion and estimated completion comes into the formula, and budget at completion minus estimated completion, and it gives you the variance, that how much is the variance. To complete performance index, it's one of the parameter which tells you that okay, whatever has done so far, what you need to do in the future in order to reach your goals. So we need to set the goals, and we need to find what goals we need to set, and these goals are variable. They can be changing week to week, month to month, and any time period, because you need to set your goals. This is one of the you can say requirement in project management, that you need to revise. It should be an iterative process, that you need to revise your things and you need to set your goals accordingly the current situation going on in the site. So now we need to see these are the most used parameters. In fact, these are the parameters. So now we are going to find out which of them are the KPIs and which of them are not the KPIs. So if we talk about budget at completion, it's information, not a KPI. If somebody is telling you your budget is 100 million, so it is not giving me anything other than the information that, okay, 100 million, it can be 200 million, it can be 1 billion, it can be 50 million. So I'm not going to take any decision based on that. Indication. Planned value is just an indication that 50% project is planned, 60% is planned, 40% remaining. So it is just giving you indication that how much is planned, how much is remaining. Earned value is also an indication. It is telling you that 50% you have earned, 50% scope of work is finished, 50% is remaining. So it indicates you only that how much you have done, how much is remaining. Similarly, actual cost is also an indication. It tells you that how much cost you have spent, how much cost is still remaining. So this is not giving you any conclusion, it's only giving you the information, indication. Schedule performance index. This is a KPI, because if somebody tells you your SPI is 0.85, now you know that you are behind the schedule. So anything which is giving you any scalar value which is giving you the result, which is making you in a position to take decision making whether yes or no, or to give any particular opinion, it's a KPI. Why it's a KPI? It's a key, it's an important thing, because we are assessing that any important thing we are assessing, it's a key performance index. It is telling the performance. So whenever the term performance comes, that means you are comparing one thing with something. So performance of a class student is referred to as its grade, A grade, B grade, C grade. So if somebody is telling you that the performance of this student is A1, grade A1, so that means this student has performed in all the subjects above A1 or at least A1. So this is simply a KPI we have already said. So if somebody is telling you that your schedule performance index is 1.1, so that means if you see the formula, earned value divided by planned value, so that shows whatever you have planned so far, you have done 10% more or 10 times more, or 0.1 times more than that. So this is a KPI giving me a conclusion. Cost performance index, it's also a KPI. It tells you that how much you have spent in order to earn. If my CPI is 0.9, so it tells me that I have spent from my pocket $1 and I have earned only $0.9 against that. So I am losing $0.10 means $0.1 in every dollar I am spending. So this is giving me a conclusion. Schedule variance, it also tells you that if you are in negative, minus 2.5, so that tells you are behind the scope of work. Whatever scope you have planned at any particular time period, at any status of the project, you are behind that your target, your goal. Cost variance is also telling me that whatever you have earned from the client, from the sponsor, in order to earn that, your variance is more. For example, you have earned your payment certificate so far is 55 million and your cost in order to earn that is 60 million. So 5 million of any XYZ currency you are behind, or you have spent more than that. So this is also a KPI which is telling me that whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. Estimate to complete, it's indication, not a KPI, because estimate to complete telling me that okay, 65% actual cost has been spent, 35% remaining. So it's just an information. It doesn't tell me that whether it's a good thing or bad thing. None of the parameter of earned value will give you the final result, the KPI, unless they are at least combined with some other value and compared. SPI comes when you combine earned and planned value to check the result, the calculation. Cost performance index comes once you combine earned and actual. Similarly, estimate to complete will never come alone. You need to combine it with something when you then you will be able to get the KPI. So let's see the estimated completion. It's a KPI because if you are standing at 35% duration of the project, let's say 35 days has gone, 65 days of the project remaining, and at that point you came to know that the budget which was 100 million now is going to be 105 million. So that means at 35th day of the project you knew that 5% or 5 million will be overspent. So this is a KPI. This is telling you that you need to do something in order to control that. Variance is also a KPI. It's telling me that how much it is quantifying the impact, that how much you are going to be above or below the budget. So 5 million in our example case. To complete performance index, this is also a KPI. This is telling you that whatever you have done so far based on the information, based on the data of current status, what we need to do in order to bring the project back. It can be to bring the project in profit again. It can be to bring the project at least in the same position which is our budget, no profit, no loss, or it can be at least minimize the cost impact, minimize the losses, whatever the time period is remaining. So this is also one of the KPI to perform. Okay, now we need to see I told there are three types of analysis we do in earned value management: descriptive analysis, then there is a predictive analysis, then there is a prescriptive analysis. So now we need to understand, we need to establish an understanding that which one is the descriptive KPI, which one is the predictive KPI, and which one is the prescriptive KPI. The term descriptive, it's already describing me that it is related to the past. It is describing something, so that means this is a descriptive KPI, it telling me the past thing. So SPI is a descriptive which tells you that so far 0.85%, 0.85 SPI means you are so far 15% behind the schedule. Cost performance, it's also a descriptive. Variance, schedule variance, it's telling me what has happened in the past, what has happened in the past. So if I go here, estimated completion, this is a predictive. It is predicting that as of today, whatever has happened in your project, if the same trend is followed, or if even not the same trend is followed, what is most likely going to happen in the project. So this is predicting the future value. This is also the predictive analysis. It is telling me that okay, in the future this is might be going to happen. This is a variance you might get in your project. So we have seen so far descriptive analysis, descriptive KPIs, predictive KPIs, and the third one is the prescriptive KPI. So once you come to know the predictive KPI, it can be a good value for you, it can be a bad value for you. Let's say your predictive KPI tells you that you will be overrunning 10% of the project budget once the project is finished. So prescriptive KPI, now being a project controls, project manager, being the authority, you need to take decision in order to bring the project back. So prescription is always done for the betterment of project. So we need to set the goal, what is the betterment of project. So the sooner, the earlier, the quicker we do all these analysis, the most frequent way of doing means if you do it's like at least monthly values, the most frequent you are doing, the better analysis you will do, the better decision making you will do for the betterment of project. So if I'm doing a prescriptive analysis, when the project duration is 95% finished, only let's say 2 months remaining, and I happen to found that I am going to overrun 15%. So what do you think? Can I control the project? Definitely I cannot set my goal to bring the project back into profit, because only 2 months remaining, majority of the work is done, only small amount of work is remaining. So what will I do? I can try to reduce the impact, I can try to bear as minimum impact I can. So this will be my goal. If I am doing this in the start of the project, so I can set my goal according to that. I can say, okay, my project is going to finish 15% more, I need to do something. Then I will see how much is the scope remaining, how much is the budget remaining, what my estimated completion is telling me. So considering all these things, I will go into the reports, I will find which areas are giving me the problem, I will go into that areas. So this is the purpose of having data analytics, that I can find all these parameters for each of the criteria of the project I have set, or the goal of the project I have set. If I found that the predictive analysis is telling me that you are going to overrun in electrical items, so I need to prescribe electrical part that this needs to be controlled. So in order to do that, I need to have a data analytics completely having a complete robust system, so that I can go and drill down and check whether it is really a good information, whether it is not happening. Maybe information is malign, maybe somebody has manipulated. So we need to work for that, and that's why we have developed a very confined data model where nobody can even type a single thing. Everything is happening in the Primavera. So we know that whatever has happened in P6, then the same data is coming automatically in our data system, data model, data structure, and then we will be getting all these values instantly. So this will make our analysis very easy. This will make our effort very minimum in handling the data rather than understanding. So we can do analysis very quickly or very efficiently. So then we will be setting our goals to prescribe for the betterment of project. So that is basically the concept, that why we need dashboard, what type of dashboard we need, what type of reports we need. We will set the criteria, because criteria is a subjective thing. Anybody can set any criteria. For some project, let's say 6% profit is the criteria to prescribe the control of the project. So we need to always keep in margin that whatever is happening, we need to always bring the project under 6% profit. It also depends whether you have included your profit in the calculation or not, whether you are using cost baseline or the price baseline which you have sent to the client. So all these factors are subjective, but the important thing is that in every project, criteria, whatever criteria you are using, these values will always be same. Means the KPI will always be SPI in any project. It is telling you what was planned, what is earned. The KPI will be cost performance, schedule variance, cost variance, and all these things. The nature of the KPI will always be same: predictive, prescriptive, descriptive. So this is the thing. So now if we conclude this part, what we can establish from here, index in Power BI, now we are going to establish these parameters first of all. Then we will see, okay, once we develop the parameters, we need to develop whether this KPI, how it will be used, because some of the parameters already available: actual cost, earned value, planned value, budget at completion. We have brought these values from P6 directly. We need to develop these KPIs. Then we will see what is the formula for that, what is the equation for that. We will develop that. Then we will see how we can use them. So all the understanding will be making sense step by step, and we will be proceeding to that part. So for that, we will see you in the next session, which is part 5. But before that, we need to navigate little bit of these things in the Primavera, that how Primavera is calculating the earned value management and how things are going on. So here remains also one part. This is the earned value. So what about the other part, which I just described here, that there are two techniques used in P6, which one of them is earned value, the other one is critical path. So what about the critical path method? What are the KPIs inside that? If I just talk about the parameters, which is coming from the critical path method. So parameters are baseline dates, early dates, late dates, and remaining units, budgeted units, baseline unit, and free float, total float. There are so many things. So out of these parameters, there are only few, or so far the one which we use most is the total float. Total float is the KPI, which is telling me that if the total float is -10, I am 10 days behind the schedule. If the total float is +5, I am 5 days ahead of the schedule in terms of days. So this is one of the KPI in critical path method. So we will be working around these KPIs and trying to develop a very robust performance measurement system. So now I will go into the P6 and explain you a few things regarding the earned value, how P6 calculates them. So we are here in P6. So now we will navigate that how P6 works with earned value and how earned value is calculated inside P6. So we know that there are some parameters which we have just discussed in the presentation, that earned value has so many parameters. So these parameters are present in P6, and they are present in two forms, two main broadly divided categories. One of them is the labor, the other is the cost. So P6 gives, we have already discussed that in part 2, that P6 gives us the opportunity and flexibility to monitor your project based on two different criteria as an earned value management. One is the labor, the other is the cost. Labor means only the labor unit. For that, you must assign any labor resource to that. So all the cumulative value of the labor units, let's say you have assigned 10 different resources to one activity, so the total value of them will be coming here, not for the each resource separately, because we cannot perform earned value management at resource ID level. We will find out that during the dashboard development, that what we can do, what we cannot do. So earned value we can perform at cumulative labor, not cumulative, at a collective labor level, means all the labor resources will be combined. And also for the cost. So cost means any resource or the expense which has price per unit, so it will be coming in the form of cost. So if I have assigned 3 different types of resources, there are 3 types of resources in P6, we know that: labor, material, and non-labor. If I have assigned 3 types of labor to one activity, and then I put price per unit to all 3 of them, so all 3 will convert their budgeted units into the cost by multiplying with the price per unit, and this cost for all the resources will come up into earned value cost. So this is the condition, this is the formula. But the labor unit will come only for the labor unit, not the cost, not the non-labor cost, not even the material cost. Only the labor and its budgeted unit will drop down here. So if I have put 10 budgeted labor unit, 5 budgeted non-labor unit, 5 budgeted material unit, so only 10 unit will drop down here, while the cost for all three of them will multiply with price per unit and the total cost will go here. So this is the criteria of how P6 deal with the earned value. What is the formula? Basically we need to go into admin preference, and through earned value tab we can see here the technique for computing performance percent complete. So there are these several options we can consider, but usually we are using this, and this is the case we use in our you can say earned value analysis during the projects. So we will be using this as well. So how it calculates, I need to go into the percent complete just to give you a little overview of that. Technique for computing estimate to complete. I told there are several conditions and formulas we can calculate. Estimate to complete is equal to remaining cost for the activity. This, or estimate to complete is equal to budget at completion, which is the baseline data, means the project budget, and minus the earned value. This is the one of the formula. Okay, so performance factor, we have 4 types to consider. PF is equal to 1 upon cost performance, 1 upon CPI multiplied by SPI, or any random factor which you see better for the calculation. So what is this condition? This is telling me that budgeted completion, the budget of project, program, portfolio, WBS level, cost account level, control point level, any task, the budget of that entity minus the earned value. Earned value here is represented as the amount of scope you have finished. So we will always discuss deal earned value as a scope completion. So budget of the project, final, or you can say total scope of the project minus the completion scope, completed scope of the project will give me the remaining scope. So estimate to complete is telling me that okay, the amount of scope remaining, means whatever the scope is remaining, it is my estimate to complete. But again, then there are 3 formulas. If I include cost performance index, so then it will tell the amount of cost remaining to finish the scope of work. So we will see in the DAX that how we can establish that, how the calculation of cost performance index is telling me that this is the cost remaining in order to finish. So once we have a complete system dashboard, then we will be doing so many analysis that how it is done, what information we can perceive from there, and what type of trends we can generate. So this is the basic calculation of earned value management. In P6 it is used. So how it deals, because you see performance percent complete, it is calculating performance percent complete from the activity percent complete. So performance percent complete is referred as the scope completion, while the schedule percent is referred as the planned completion. So we will develop all these formulas in the DAX. So there is one more thing, we can do earned value for labor and the total cost, but we want to monitor the resource as a resource ID. For example, I want to see the status of carpenter, steel fixer, plumber, welder, all these resources, or I want to see the equipment status, crane, excavator, when they will be used, how many they will be used, and all these things we want to see that as well. And we also want to monitor the quantities, that how many concrete, how much concrete, how many, for example, doors you want to install, what is the quantity for plasters, false ceiling, and anything whatever is available in our project. So we want to monitor the quantity as well. For that we need to go into the resource assignment, and these things we have discussed in part 2, that what is the difference between the activity window and what is the difference between the resource assignment window. This is the fact table, this is a dimension table. So we also know that whenever the term resource comes, this is not going to give us any data related to earned value. It is going to give us data only related to resource management, and the difference between resource management and the earned value is simply the performance. Resource management never gives you the performance of whatever has been done, while the earned value gives you whatever has been done in the project, whether it is a good thing or bad thing, it gives you the performance. So this is the difference. So that means if we want to monitor the quantities, If you want to monitor the non-labor units, so we need to go into resource assignment, and we can do resource management for them, not the earned value. So this is also the criteria. And how we cannot do earned value? Because earned value is always done with the baseline data. We have discussed that in session 2, that the baseline units, baseline dates are used to compare with the budgeted values or the planned values, earned values, in order to check whether we are going good or bad. So if budgeted values are, baseline values are not available in resource assignment, so there is no point of doing earned value with budgeted units, because budgeted units do not have the fixed start and the finish point. Because budgeted units, we know that, can move away from data date and can come towards the data date, can move towards finish date, can move towards project start date. So budgeted units are not the locked ones. So if your locked value, if your baseline value is changing every week, with every update, so you cannot compare it. So that's why what we can do, we will see in the in DAX, in Power BI, that we can use this window for labor resource management, material quantity resource management, and non-labor resource management. So that was the overview I wanted to give you. So now we will go into DAX and we will start writing the codes to develop our KPIs.